I'm City Arborist Jeff Tarling here with Coleen Terling from the Maine Forest Service, and we're in Baxter Woods today looking for Hemlock Woolly Adelgid, which unfortunately we've known has been in the park since 2013. And we're trying a number of techniques to try to slow the spread of Hemlock Woolly Adelgid. We've done beetle release, we've done some trunk treatments to kind of slow it down, but it's a real serious threat here in Baxter Woods. And you can see the Hemlock Woolly Adelgid here on this branch. They're really small, tiny. The white, you can see the cotton on them. They're static. Once they're on there, they kind of tend to stay, but they cause really mortality to these hemlocks, and you can see the foliage is thinning. But it's a long-term effort to try to save these trees. Coleen, why don't you just give us a little update of what we're trying to do?
So we're going to be, the city is buying some predatory beetles, and these predators will release them onto the trees, and they will move throughout the forest and feed on the adelgid. And we're hopeful with time that those numbers will build up enough that we can manage, and keep the trees alive, keep the numbers of adelgid low enough that the trees will survive.
One thing we have to be concerned about is not spreading to other trees, and it's something also for citizens and residents to see this on other hemlocks and report back to us where they are if they see it. We definitely think it's a real serious problem around Portland. We often stop and see homeowners that have this, say on the Western Prom and other areas. We let them know what it is, and then they contact commercial arborist company to treat the tree. But hemlock's really an important tree, significant in Maine. They grow along riverbeds. They're definitely a tree that grows in the shade, that can tolerate conditions. They help cool the streams so that trout will stay there. So there's a whole cast of things that happens. And this is an invasive insect not from the United States, so there's no real local control. But we hope that the biological control with beetle release and some of the chemical treatments, that we at least can start saving these trees. And we really look to the public to help us in this effort.
And also I should mention that during the spring and summer, from about March to August, is when there are some mobile stages that are really, really tiny, and they can easily be picked up. And as Jeff mentioned, if people brush up against a branch, they can pick up these crawlers and move them to other trees. So that's something to be aware of when you're out in the woods.
So hemlocks really are the redwood of the East. And you can see by this hemlock behind us, it's got about a 46-inch diameter. It's about 90 feet tall. It's even taller than Alex, our park director. Alex is a lot taller than Coleen and I. I think he's standing on a higher thing, but you can see that a tree like this, it's probably a couple hundred years old. It's really great to see if we can save the rest of these and add that to the future of the forest.
Is just pin it, say, underneath here.
How do I do that?
So we pick this up, and we need to pin it in a place where there are no beetles, because we don't want to squish these beetles. So let's see. Let me find a spot here.
They don't eat the first, eat the beetles.
Brush you guys off. So if I hold it here, if you pin it on top, to the branch, there. And now the beetles will just crawl upwards and onto the branch.
And they'll feast.
And they will feast. Oh, okay, let's make sure there are none left in there. So
Can I dump them?
yeah, you can dump them out. So just sort of up top and just go like this. Sometimes you have to flick it really hard to get them out.
Is there any in there?
Any in there?
Nope.
And then the other thing to
where's
do
Pat?
is just to look to make sure that none are crawling on us, because we don't want to take them away. We want them to stay here.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Where's the other ones?
That's right, you wanted more from me.